Who's that, Guardian? You guessed it, it's Diaside. Ladies and gents, my name is Xander, aka Diaside, and now you all finally have a face to put to the voice, and so I just want to say that the reason this is happening is because of you, my friends. If not for you, reaching 50,000 subscribers simply would not have been possible, and I can't thank you enough for everything that you guys have done. I mean, seriously, where this channel is at right now would not have been possible if not for you coming back to every single one of my videos, liking, subscribing, supporting, and commenting, and doing all that kind of jazz. And so to you, I tip my hat in respect. What I want to also mention here is a couple of things within YouTube specifically, and then also a couple of things about me personally, so then you guys can really kind of get to know me better, but also a couple of things with the channel and where I want to go with this and kind of what I want to do for the future. So, first things first. The very number one ask I'm going to ask every single one of you to do out there is to number one, unsubscribe, resubscribe, and then hit the notification button with all notified. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, why exactly is this happening? So the reason why this is happening is because I can't tell you as to how many times that you, this person, that person, the next person, no joke, probably about 100 to 150 people have asked me and messaged me saying, Xander, why the heck am I not getting notified? I like your videos, I want to watch them, but I can't know when you're actually posting because I'm not getting notified, period. If you go over to your subscription button and see that notification button right next to it, aka the bell, you're probably then going to realize that what's notified, or rather what's selected, is personalized. And this right here is the definition of fluff, cabbage trash shenanigans. I mean, you don't want this, I don't want this, nobody wants this, and it's truly garbage. And the reason why this is so is because what the system is currently doing is it's only notifying people, or rather you, selectively for this video to that video or the other video. I know, truly the definition of utter trash. And the reason why this is happening is because YouTube did a notification change a little while ago, where even if you happen to have all notifications turned on, they then gave you the option for personalized, and thus that's why you're then getting some of the notifications to occur and of course not occur. Alright guys, hold on, give me 1 second here, I gotta get a sip of water. Much better. Oh, and by the way, here we go. Daffy Duck, mad genius, I know. Isn't this cup awesome? I know, I like it too. Anyways, moving on. So now you guys kind of understand as to why I want you to then number one, unsubscribe, resubscribe, and then go ahead and click all notifications to be just that. All, not in between, not none, and rather not personalized, but all once again. So, having said all this, now you know a fantastic workaround to make sure that you are getting notified to the videos that you want to be notified to. Again, the only reason I'm mentioning this is because I know that you as the individual are not going to watch every single one of my videos. I don't expect you to. That's not the point in me saying this. The point in me saying this is that you then can determine for yourselves as to whether or not you want to watch this video or that video, and not let this stupid AI determine this for you. Alright, now that we're all on the same page, I have a second change about YouTube that I want to mention. And the second thing is that monetization. Monetization is crazy right now, and actually what YouTube does on a very regular basis is they do something in the background and they kind of do these tests from creator to creator to creator. Now, exactly what are those tests? Well, in one sense, what's happening right now is that YouTube is kind of doing a little test case scenario where they're giving certain types of creators the option to actually specify as to whether or not their video or videos is then going to break one of their guidelines. For example, cursing, or for example, swearing, or maybe something else like violence or one of those things. Now within this test case, they're also then allowing you to then select as to whether or not none of the above are selectable, and thus you'll be available for all these types of ads. And so currently, I think that's actually going to be fantastic for the platform in the long run, but for my channel right now, well, let's just say it's not doing the best of things. So for you, I'm letting you know this is happening in the background, and this is one of the things that happens with YouTube all the time, and it may not be just this particular test case, but it's going to happen over and over again, just the same way that has for me and many other creators. This is something that you should all be aware of that's happening in the background. Now there's one of two ways in which we can kind of have a little bit of a workaround for this monetization. And the first one is very, very simple, and it's just going to be watch one ad. I know, nobody likes ads, myself included, but if you can just take the time to watch one ad, number one, it's only going to cost you a little bit of time, and number two, it's not going to cost you any actual money. And in this sense, not only do I get paid, but the channel as a whole cumulatively with the YouTube algorithm is going to be so much more successful. And so when we think about it like that, that's helping out the channel tremendously in so many ways that I can't tell you as to how much that's really going to help. And so please, oh please, oh please, just watch one ad. Now the second way that I mentioned to get around this is to pretty much do a second thing, And I really am hesitant about doing this because if you notice up until now, there has not been a single way for you nor anybody else to contribute to the channel monetarily. And that's because I do this for fun. I do this because I'm very passionate about the game in Destiny 2. I thoroughly enjoy the entire game as a whole, and I want to just generally help more people get better at the game, whether it be sniping, using hand cannons, using shotguns, whatever it might be, or even doing your typical review. Now, in the process of doing this, many of you have been asking me, Xander, I love your stuff and I want to contribute to you in some way, shape, or form. I simply don't have a way for you to do so, even if you ask me 5, 6, 7 times. And so in this sense, what I've then finally done is I've done one thing, and that is I've created a PayPal just in case that you or anybody else feels the need or the urge to donate, then you have an option and or an outlet to do so. Now, Diaslayers, let me be crystal clear. I'm doing this only because you were asking, and it is not a necessity to do so. You do not have to donate in any way, shape, or form. It's just simply there once again for those of you who choose to do so. And so having said that, I'm kind of thinking about potentially doing something else along with this, and that is, well, either Patreon or doing a sponsorship via the channel and YouTube. I don't know if you noticed this as well, but on other channels you see this join option and or a membership option, and pretty much is the exact same thing as what you can do with a Patreon, but on YouTube instead. And so if you're thinking about one of those two things, well, I want to get you guys' feedback on this and see what you think about it as a whole. Is this something that you would like to see or not? Do you want to see some more perk options with this or not? Do you kind of just want to see this in general, or do you just want to see it as not there being at all? I don't really know, so that's why I'm asking you, and so please, by all means, give me some of that feedback down in the comment section below. Alright, so now that we've covered all that shenanigans, now we come to the fun part of the video, and that is to get to know me a little bit better. And some of the things that I just want to tell you guys about is that number one, I'm a huge fan of anime. Yes, I know, you're probably thinking, what the heck is this guy talking about, bro? Yes, I like anime, it's a ton of fun, it's one of the things that I watch, or at least I try to watch at least one episode a day because that's all the time that I really have for it, but I watch things like something like Naruto, or Fairy Tail, or Bleach, just to kind of name some of the big ones, but of course we got the small ones as well, and those are always the ones that are quite intriguing and quite fun to watch too. Second thing that I want you to know is that I love video games, not just Destiny. Of course, it's the only time that I actually had to play this thing, because then I'm also making content for it. But if I didn't have to make content for it all the time, which by the way I love doing, I'd still play games like Mortal Kombat or more Call of Duty or more of Halo. And speaking of those games, in particular Call of Duty and Halo, if you're interested in seeing some of that kind of content on the channel, then by all means, let me know about that down in the comment section below. I love playing those games, and so if you're kind of like that, FPS kind of guy like myself, then maybe I'll try and make that kind of stuff in the future. Who knows? We'll see. Now, the third thing that kind of goes with the first two is that I'm a huge Pokemon fan and a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. And this also means that not only do I play those games, but I also collect the cards. And so I've been collecting cards ever since I was a kid. I mean, I've got some OG ones like some first edition Charizards, some first edition Blastoids, some first edition Venusaurs, and of course some other ones that are going to be some Japanese ones, by the way. So maybe one of these days I'll actually show you some of those. Heck, if you want to see me in the video doing that, I can definitely do that too. Just something fun that we can possibly do, so let me know about that too. Now, the fourth fun fact about me is that I actually went to school, specifically Iowa State University. As you guys can tell from right there in that little koozie, go Cyclones, baby, Cyclones all the way. But I also went there for one thing, engineering, more specifically aerospace engineering. Yes, you heard me right, I said aerospace, and even though it's actually not what I'm quite doing today, that's another story for a different time. I am doing YouTube, and that's kind of led me to my next passion and something that I want to get into, and that is voice acting. Yes, I know, voice acting, I'm like, oh my gosh, come on, bro. But man, I don't know what is. I find that doing this stuff here on YouTube is a ton of fun, and that's where you kind of see me do a voice impersonation of maybe something like Saint 14, for example, or maybe something else entirely different, because I thoroughly enjoy doing that, and I find it fun. Even though I might be despicable, detestable, and awfully garbage at it, I still find it fun, and the only way to get better at something is by, of course, doing it over and over again and getting that practice. Now, a fifth little fun fact is that I actually make all my videos without a script. Okay, that's not entirely true. I do kind of like a SparkNote system where, for example, I'll have a couple of notes to discuss this, and this, but in between that, that's all off the top of my head. I mean, guys, when I mean that's off the top of my head, it's just like I'm talking now, off the top of my head. Granted, I will make my PNG files, so something like, say, the base stat sheet, or maybe something like, say, the TTK sheet beforehand, and I'll use that as one of my cliff notes almost for the video itself. But other than that, That's about it. So what you see is what you get. And so I pretty much try and do this as much as I can and get better at it. I find that if you do this a lot, well, it makes speaking a lot easier because way back when I was a kid, I had a huge stuttering problem. Yes, you heard me right, I had a huge stuttering problem. And so lo and behold, I finally have gotten rid of that by doing exactly this, just talking on the top of your head as fast as you can, but I've also learned to slow it down just so that everyone can kind of understand and see exactly what's going on, because sometimes I know I speak way too fast. You probably even realized that throughout this entire video so far, I've been kind of speaking a little fast. So if I have been, apologies on that, my friends. I know I'm trying to work on it. I'm always trying to slow down. But nonetheless, I want to get your guys' feedback on all this stuff down in the comment section below. And also, I just want to say thank you one more time for this amazing milestone of 50,000 subscribers. If not for you, this wouldn't happen and this channel would not exist. So I cannot express my gratitude and my appreciation to every single one of you out there. And all I gotta say is my hat tips to you and respect. And having said all that stuff, the only thing left to do is just to go directly back into that crucible, annihilate, decimate, and eradicate every single guardian in your path, and in the process of doing so, make enemy guardians a little bit salty. Lastly, be sure to watch the newest, check the latest, and share, comment, like on social media because you are the greatest. That's pretty much all I've got for this right now, Dia Slayers. As always, GG TNT.